Quotations from the Bible and Saints by Adam Wibben 2024. For Grace, Faith, and Theodore from the Catholic Saints. Saint Peter. Though you have not seen him, you love him, and even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy. Saint Peter. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called so that you may inherit a blessing. Saint Mary Magdalene the Evangelist. The material world produced a great passion, desire or suffering, without equal. This was contrary to the natural balance. The entire cosmos, body, was disturbed by it. That is why I said to you, be encouraged, and if you are discouraged, be encouraged when you see the different forms nature has taken. Saint Mary Magdalene the Evangelist. They asked the soul, where do you come from, slayer of men, where are you going, conqueror of space? The soul answered and said, what has trapped me has been slain, and what kept me caged has been overcome. My desire has been ended, and ignorance has died. In an age, dispensation, I was released from the world in a symbolic image, and I was released from the chains of oblivion, which were only temporary in this transient world. Saint Matthew the Evangelist. But he answered, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Saint Matthew the Evangelist. Go and learn what this means, I desire mercy, and not sacrifice. For I came not to call the righteous, but sinners. Saint Mark the Evangelist, a humble man who lives a spiritual life, when he reads the Holy Scriptures, will relate all things to himself and not to others. Saint Mark the Evangelist, for he was teaching his disciples, saying to them, the Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him. And when he is killed, after 3 days he will rise. Saint Luke the Evangelist, what is impossible with men is possible with God. Luke the Evangelist, love your enemies, do good to them that hate you. Saint John the Evangelist. Our love should not be just words and talk, it must be true love, which shows itself in action. Saint John the Evangelist. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in him. Saint Augustine. Because God has made us for himself, our hearts are restless until they rest in him. Saint Augustine. To fall in love with God is the greatest romance, to seek him the greatest adventure, to find him the greatest human achievement. Saint Joan of Arc. All battles are first won or lost in the mind. Saint Joan of Arc. Every man gives his life for what he believes. Every woman gives her life for what she believes. Sometimes people believe in little or nothing, nevertheless they give up their lives to that little or nothing. One life is all we have, and we live it as we believe in living it, and then it's gone. But to surrender what you are and live without belief, that's more terrible than dying, more terrible than dying young. Saint John of the Cross. In the inner stillness where meditation leads, the Spirit secretly anoints the soul and heals our deepest wounds. Saint John of the Cross. Live in faith and hope, though it be in darkness, for in this darkness God protects the soul. Cast your care upon God, for you are his, and he will not forget you. Do not think that he is leaving you alone, for that would be to wrong him. Mother Mary MacAuliffe. Whatever troubles may be before you, accept them bravely, remembering whom you are trying to follow. Do not be afraid. Love one another, bear with one another, and let charity guide you all your life. God will reward you as only He can. Mother Mary MacAuliffe. Believe in the whisperings of God to your own heart. Saint Teresa of Avila. To have courage for whatever comes in life, everything lies in that. Saint Ignatius of Antioch. I wish not merely to be called Christian, but also to be Christian. Saint Dominic Savio. I am not capable of doing big things, but I want to do everything, even the smallest things, for the greater glory of God. Saint Dominic Savio. A man who governs his passions is master of his world. We must either command them or be enslaved by them. It is better to be a hammer than an anvil. Saint Dominic Savio. One day, through the Rosary and the Scapula, Our Lady will save the world. Saint Catherine of Siena. Be who you were created to be, and you will set the world on fire. Saint Catherine of Siena. You are rewarded not according to your work or your time, but according to the measure of your love. Saint Thomas Aquinas. To convert somebody, go and take them by the hand and guide them. Saint Thomas Aquinas. He who is not angry when there is just cause for anger is immoral. Why? Because anger looks to the good of justice. And if you can live amid injustice without anger, you are immoral as well as unjust. Saint Thomas Aquinas. For those with faith, no evidence is necessary, for those without it, no evidence will suffice. Saint Francis of Assisi. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. Saint Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love; where there is injury, pardon; where there is doubt, faith; where there is despair, hope; where there is darkness, light; and where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. Saint Francis of Assisi. Do all you can to preach the gospel, and if necessary use words. Saint Jane Frances de Chantal. Hold your eyes on God and leave the doing to Him. That is all the doing you have to worry about. Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta. We cannot all do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Teach us to give and not count the cost. Saint John Paul the Great. The future starts today, not tomorrow. Saint John Paul the Great. I plead with you, never, ever give up on hope, never doubt, never tire, and never become discouraged. Be not afraid. Saint John Paul the Great. Let us remember the past with gratitude, live the present with enthusiasm, and look forward to the future with confidence. For grace, faith, and Theodore from the Bible. Philippians 4 verse 13. I have the strength for everything through Him who empowers me. Psalm 37 verse 4. Find your delight in the Lord, who will give you your heart's desire. Psalm 119 verse 105. Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light for my path. John 1 verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 57. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Proverbs 16 verse 3. Entrust your works to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. Ephesians 3 verse 20. Now to him who is able to accomplish far more than all we ask or imagine, by the power at work with us. Romans 8 verse 28. We know that all things work for good for those who love God, who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8 verse 31. If God is for us, who can be against us? John 16 verse 33. I have told you this so that you might have peace in me. In the world you will have trouble, but take courage, I have conquered the world. For Grace, Faith, and Theodore from Other Faiths. Mohammed. However much the faith of a man increases, his regard for women increases. Gautama Buddha. The thought manifests as the word. The word manifests as the deed. The deed develops into habit. And the habit hardens into character. So, watch the thought and its ways with care. And let it spring from love, born out of concern for all beings. Swami Vivekananda. The great secret of true success, of true happiness, is this: the man or woman who asks for no return, the perfectly unselfish person, is the most successful. Winston Churchill. The inherent vice of capitalism is the unequal sharing of blessings, the inherent virtue of socialism is the equal sharing of miseries. Winston Churchill. Judged by every standard which history has applied to governments, the Soviet government of Russia is one of the worst tyrannies that has ever existed in the world. It accords no political rights. It rules by terror. It punishes political opinions. It suppresses free speech. It tolerates no newspapers but its own. It persecutes Christianity with a zeal and a cunning never equaled since the times of the Roman emperors. It is engaged at this moment in trampling down the peoples of Georgia and executing their leaders by hundreds. Constantine. This is certainly the will of the Supreme God, who is the author of this world and its Father, through whose goodness we enjoy life, look up to heaven, and rejoice in the society of our fellow men, that the whole human race should agree together and be joined in a certain affectionate union by, as it were, a mutual embrace. Let us, my brothers, follow after the things that are ours, let us walk in the way of the commandments, let us by good actions keep the divine precepts, let us free our life from errors and with the help of the mercy of God, let us direct it along the right path. Constantine. If a Jew has bought and circumcised a Christian slave or one belonging to any other religious community, he may under no circumstances keep the circumcised person in slavery. Rather, whoever suffers such a thing shall obtain the privilege of freedom. Charlemagne. Right action is better than knowledge, but in order to do what is right, we must know what is right. Charlemagne. If the populace knew with what idiocy they were ruled, they would revolt. Daniel Ellsberg. Every attack now made on WikiLeaks and Julian Assange was made against me and the release of the Pentagon Papers at the time. Mahatma Gandhi. Let the first act of every morning be to make the following resolve for the day: I shall not fear anyone on earth. I shall fear only God. I shall not bear ill will toward anyone. I shall not submit to injustice from anyone. I shall conquer untruth by truth. and in resisting untruth, I shall put up with all suffering. Acts of Charity. Compilation and comments by Adam Wibbin. Charity is one of the most important things you can do in life, and it is seen by God and not necessarily by anybody else. To commit random acts of kindness, like always having a $2 coin in your pocket, giving to a parent for their child's kiddies ride when you know they don't have a coin, or being able to give a busker some money, these are examples of charity. Below is a list of ideas for you to make your day-to-day actions bring you closer to God. Pick up litter with a twist. While jogging, keep an eye out for trash and litter and pick it up as you go. Keep those hotel giveaways. Savvy travelers may want to leave a little extra room in their suitcases. The travel-sized toiletries offered by hotels can be useful to a number of organizations, including many local shelters. Even major hotel chains are hopping on the bandwagon and donating extra toiletries. Shop second-hand. Shoppers should be prepared to keep their minds open and their eyes peeled when shopping second-hand. There's less packaging and less expense, so it helps both the environment and the wallet. In many, but not all, cases, proceeds go towards local charities, so be sure to do your research. Put your gift cards to good use. Unused gift cards can do more than simply take up wallet space. A number of services allow you to donate your balance to a charity of choice, and others will accept the card directly via mail. Regional organizations can likely benefit too, just be sure to check in first and make sure they accept gift cards. Get crafty. Those with supplies at the ready may be pleased to know that their favorite hobby can easily do some good for others. A variety of organizations are ready and willing to accept crafts that only cost a few dollars to make and are often simple enough for kids to pitch in and help. Make a one-time donation. Giving money may be among the first things to come to mind when the word charitable is used. For those inclined, there are plenty of resources available to ensure that donations are spent in a way that the giver deems appropriate. Share the spotlight with an important cause. Whether celebrating a birthday, graduation, anniversary, or retirement, or even planning a watch party for a favorite game or big awards show, it's easy to provide an excuse for guests to give to charity. Attendees may welcome the chance to bring donations and support a relevant cause. Pay for school lunches. Writer Ashley C. Ford tweeted about the idea of paying for lunches in 2017 and has since launched a landslide of giving. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to handling outstanding lunch debt, so potential donors will want to reach out directly to schools or districts they'd like to help. Plan a swap with friends. At first, getting friends together to trade may not seem like a charitable act. In reality, swapping makes great use of what's already been created, which saves energy, packaging, and money. Clothing swaps are especially popular, but trading goods, toys, and other items can work, too. Handwrite notes of encouragement. Putting pen to paper, or even crayon to card, rarely takes more than a few minutes, and only requires a postage stamp to reach its destination. Cards can be sent during the holidays, or anytime the giver wishes to brighten the day of the recipient. Send care packages. Military personnel who are far from home can enjoy the kindness of strangers with the help of a number of organizations. The Department of Defense list offers a starting point for those looking to send care packages to those deployed overseas. Host a fundraiser. It's not just car washes and cookie sales, there are endless ways to spotlight a worthy cause. A personal garage sale with a commitment to donate earnings, or even a community event with a donation jar can still shift the focus toward others. Make happy rocks. Ever been walking along and spotted a colorful rock painted with a cheerful greeting? It may have been part of the Kindness Rocks project. Decorating a rock with a motivational greeting may be just the craft to help connect kids to the idea of charitable giving, too. Purchase to share. Consider putting a few extra dollars towards goods that are often used up and need to be replaced, like school supplies or personal hygiene items. It may seem like a small gesture, but the impact can be significant, especially for teachers. Use that green thumb for good. Growing one's own food has a number of benefits for the environment, though home gardeners may be happy to know that thanks to appleharvest.org, they can help their communities, too. The search tool can help users find local food banks that will accept extra fresh fruits and vegetables. Show up, even just once. A number of organizations have short-term volunteer options available that often don't require more than a few hours of time, such as food banks, for example. Those interested should watch community calendars for events scheduled around key dates and holidays. Involve four-legged friends. Pet owners may be happy to hear that they don't have to leave their best friends at home when they volunteer. A number of options exist for animal lovers who want to include their dog or cat in their volunteer efforts, too. Support local libraries. Showing up and checking out books is often all that's asked of library patrons, but don't forget that libraries offer plenty of other community services, too. Friends of the Library programs give neighbors opportunities to help and donate. Ensure that your library card is up to date and that your local branch has your information so you can hear about upcoming happenings. Attend a fundraiser. Trading dinner in a restaurant for a benefit or a movie night for a silent auction is a chance to put funds that would have been spent anyways towards something that benefits the greater good. A break from routine may also inspire other ideas. Donate a personal item. One person's junk is another person's treasure, which is another person's charitable donation, or so the saying goes. If you have unneeded items like toys or household goods in new or gently used condition, there are a number of ways those items may help someone else. Try keeping a bin or box in a nondescript part of your home to collect items as you go and make the process less daunting. Serve a meal. There are countless opportunities to volunteer in person with local food banks and with hunger relief organizations. Commitments can range from one visit to long-term partnerships. Be intentional about giving clothes away. Donating clothes may seem easy enough, but giveaways can end up on a variety of paths, some of which are likely not what the giver intended. Donors who want to ensure their giveaways are doing the most possible good may want to do some research before dropping off those clothes. www.stacker.com.ways-be-charitable-every-day